very good.
Thank you for coming. And Philippe is working
At the Ground Living.
his own organization called Grounded Living Incorporate.
Yes.
It's a non-profit organization. And during the time you've been dealing with people who are stressed.
Yes.
May I please ask what type of stresses are common and
yes.
most?
Well, Ground Living is a non-for-profit, and one of the things that we do to prevent is people who are going to really deep stress, to help them to get out from homelessness, suicide, and domestic violence, to live a more grounded living, to live a life that is exciting and more worth living. And the major stress that they get to actually go into that space, everything starts with issues with relationship. Normally are men who once they were married and they have jobs just like a normal person, and then suddenly something doesn't go well in their relationship, and then they lose their hope, and then in a matter of 3 or 4 months they find themselves in the street, and a lot of things happen in the street. They get trauma and they just don't want to go back to the life that they had before. They literally lose faith on it and hope. It's a very serious thing that is happening out there. And that's what Ground Living is about. I just spoke with you about the beneficiaries of those who get benefit from the Ground Living, not necessarily the clients.
Oh, I see. Do you think, as a real estate agent, we have some specific sections that we could help with you guys, or?
That's a good question. Eventually, of course, we can always, Ground Live can always build relationship with real estate professionals like yourself, Grace, because we never know what's going to happen in the future, what kind of project we could go together. And there is already a few real estate organizations working together with the government to create more affordable houses, to create government houses. But something that we definitely could go, because one of the things about Ground Living, we always have two kinds of clients. One is the men that we help, that is what I just described, and that let's call them the customers. And then we have the clients. Mm-hmm. The clients are the people who actually invest on Ground Living, who invest in social responsibility. Mm. And then definitely that would be something that we would be open to keep talking and keep open to more partnerships.
That sounds great. And also, I think in life, you never fix yourself in a position. You could be someone who is helping others, and one day you could be someone who receives the help.
Yes.
Clients, customers,
yes.
They could be for position
yes.
in a way similar to our tenant landlord situation.
Yes.
In our property management section, we have tenant and landlord, we work with them,
yes.
and I can see the stress from both sides.
Yes, tell me more about that.
And
what
sometimes
are the biggest challenge that someone who is buying a house or selling a house or renting a space, what are the biggest challenge that they are having? And first, what are the biggest challenge that they are having?
First of all, I say something good about us because I've been doing the research for Australian property the last 50 years. We check all the data and know what's happening, and not trying to be predicting what's next, but kind of looking at Australian property market as a stable market in the world compared to other countries. Yeah. And then we understand as a tenant, as a landlord, doesn't matter when the legislation change or change towards what, you still holding your position as a tenant or as a landlord. For example, it's a fixed term tenancy, and the tenant is definitely protected from that tenancy. So if they don't gain the mutual agreement, they could stay until the fixed term tenancy finish. As a landlord, they could be under stress, say separation, or they need to move to another city and in a hurry to sell or rent. Different situation. Our job is mainly understand the whole process and tell them what's next exactly. And for selling and buying, it's very important to make sure they understand what's the best scenario and what's the worst scenario. And we wouldn't say we promise and guarantee this, but we would update what's happening on the market and what's achievable, and that's the range. And how do we achieve that? Some people might want to know how to improve my house to make it sell higher, but different people have different needs. Some people, they want a quicker sale. Some people, they want the most profit. Some people are under pressure of separation, domestic violence. We understand all situations. That's why we very upfront and honest and say, tell me your situation. Normally when a tenant came in, I say, tell me your situation. Why do you move? first of all. And for a seller, why we're selling? That's a question from a buyer quite often. If I help people to purchase or help people to sell, that's the first question we ask. What's the reason for selling? And during the whole process, doesn't matter seller or buyer, they boils under certain stress.
And one thing that I'm noticing here that's a point coming to our business, the biggest question to people to answer is a very simple one that people don't want to answer, which is, what do you want? I could say, what do you want for your life? By selling this house, what do you want? What's the objective? That's exactly what you're saying, right? And why are you selling? And to the person who is buying, to the people who are buying, why are you buying? What is it that you really want from that? And what do you want from this selling question? And then it's a very simple question, but people don't dwell much in what they really want or desire.
That's deep. It's more like you're asking what's the purpose of life.
Yes, because even if you say that and you find out what you want, we live in a culture that we cannot tell what you want. Because in the moment that the other person knows what you want, they might be in control of you. And then the more I go deep in my work and in the business setting is like, that's why people don't work on these questions. And then whenever you ask people, but what do you want? They don't know first because they never made that question. And second, if they do it and they know it, it's better that you don't tell anyone about this stuff.
Even from another perspective, if we are so straightforward and telling people that, the deal would be a lot simpler and easier for everybody.
That's it, and no stress, problem solved, let's be happy.
Business sector it could be complicated for sure. But dealing with people, actually, I shouldn't say it's hard.
It's challenging.
Oh.
It's challenging. Dealing with people is challenging. There is no question about that. I like between challenge and hard. I like the word challenge because challenge gives the idea that it's challenge, it can be done. Hard takes you to a non-encouraging space, a disempowering space. Challenge is, yes, I can do it. It's challenge, it can be done. Do I want to do it or not? And then that's the decision that everyone, we have to make in whatever we are doing in life.
I think we should do another section means what kind of positive word or vocabulary we should use daily.
That's a technique, actually.
Is that right? Learn that from my working experience. I don't say problem anymore. There's no problem in my life. I seldom mention issue. I say matter. We're trying to be neutral in the case and overlooking the whole situation, scenario, and trying to provide a solution. That's why we call ourselves solution provider. It's a serious term, but you could be very arrogant about it, but we're trying to be down to the earth, put our feet in the mud, say we are helping, we are assisting along the way, step back. And that's some of the review we got from Google as well, which is pretty good, positive. We're happy.
It's good.
I would like to make that clear. Say customers who might need your help. If I see some tenants are struggling, I'll refer them to you.
Yes.
And if I see my landlord, they have plenty of money to put into non-profit and they're willing to help, maybe bank some credit for everybody's future.
I would say
the clients we refer to you.
A good client would be people who are looking for tax planning. Accounting could be a good source of referral. And service consultant could be a good source of referral as well. I know we're talking about people who are not dealing with people who hasn't been successful in business, but sometimes they know people who knows people. These people that I just mentioned here, accountant, tax planning, bookkeeper, they are the people who are helping people with managing money and tax. And sometimes a good strategy for saving on tax is making donations to a cause that they enjoy, that they actually are connected with. That's the causes. If you know any company or any people who knows a man who emotional has been to challenging life, that would be someone that I would love to be introduced to.
I mentioned you and your organization, the key word I should mention that help mainly men to have grounded living, good living, and to promote healthy masculinity.
That's it.
People understand what you're doing and willing to get help or provide help. Yeah.
And yours is Square Real Estate.
We help people rent and mainly for, we call it one-stop shop.
One-stop.
You could be saying,
you come here and you say, oh, that's the place to stay.
We are looking at the situation, see what kind of real estate services might help you, and that's about it. Of course, we want more sellers, more landlords, as always, for the business running operation, of course. But however, we already in a situation have been through lots, for example, domestic violence tenancy and tenant abandoned the property, and some sad story about tenant not there anymore. It's a lot we could give advice to, and even a simple solution or a simple phone call could help them a lot in some situations. But bear in mind, we're not tax agent. We know the property tax kind of benefit, but we're not supposed to give advice on that.
Absolutely.
And we just keep the boundary very strict. But I do mention to lots of my landlords, every time you change your property purpose, you better get a valuation, that kind of thing. The essential reminder, as a professional real estate agent, I often mention go to your accountant and check every detail to make sure everything has been done
Go to
right.
Robert and see Robert.
Robert should be here too.